I can't believe how well you set this up for me. Talking about competition, you guys have competition on the brain. She asked how many were business owners. That was something I was interested in knowing. But to me, in terms of competition, it doesn't matter if you own your own business or if you're newly appointed to run a department or if you own a franchise or you're just getting someplace different, you want to get someplace different in your career. It's vitally, vitally important that you be competitive and understand what it means to do so. And so one thing I like to do when I first start this talk is to ask you, are you competitive? You've had a couple of minutes to think about that, but if you are like most people, when somebody asks you that, even though from time to time we kind of ask ourselves that in our little voice in our head, if it kind of takes you back a little bit and you think, I don't know, well, sometimes I am and I'm not sure. And I think the truth is that we're all competitive in some areas of life and then not so much in others, depending on the motivation. And I think that's the right balance. But when it comes to business, when it comes to your career, your livelihood, and what you're doing with your work life, it's vitally, vitally important that you be competitive. And there's most definitely strategy that you can put in place to learn how to do that better, and to maintain it. And so the reason I italicized the true in the title of the talk is because I want that to imply to you that we're going to dig a little bit deeper here, and instead of kind of throwing some things up and let's see if those work. These are 3 strategies that I employed. I'm going to give some examples. I'm going to go through a little bit quick because I want to stay true to your time, but that I employed and stimulate some thinking about things that you can do as well. So 3 process-driven strategies that will positively impact your business, your career, and your bottom line. So here are the process-driven strategies. I'm going to touch on these, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about why I might be a good person to point to when it comes to being competitive, and then I'm going to give you some detail on these. And I have an article on my website that has a lot of this information on there. So if you, of course I'm glad you're taking notes, but I just wanted to point that out. So the first one is incorporate hard to duplicate strategies into your business that add value to your clients. So hard to duplicate is the key word, a key phrase there. And adding value to your clients is of course very, very important because we may think something is going to be wonderful and beneficial, but to the clients it's not that important. So that's number 1. Number 2 is invest time into creating creative approaches to your business. So there's a time component to that one. And you're going to see in a couple of slides, there's an overreaching process in place here that I call method management. This outlines how to use it in the competitive arena, but it applies to other areas as well. But time is always a key factor. If you start to be competitive and think about your competition today, then a year from now, you're going to be ahead of your competition and able to start thinking of the next thing you're going to do to be competitive. And then the last one is incorporate elements that make your business distinctive and that your customers also value. So here's method management. In certain aspects, this can apply to various functions in your business, many, many different functions. But as we apply it to competitive advantage, number 1, do your research. Number 2, do a SWOT analysis. Your strengths, their weaknesses, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then test your strategy. It may be that you have a valued client. I've always had a few people that I go to that you can test your strategy. Oftentimes things we think are great are not so great. It's real important. And then tell your clients what you plan to do and why. You want to get a lot of mileage out of what you're going to do. So you're going to tell them what you're going to do because that shores up anybody that may have some doubts going forward about your business. I used that a lot. Oh, this is what we're going to do. Oh, okay, so she is still paying attention to her business. And why? What benefit is that to them? Implement it. Show your clients what you did. And then evaluate and adjust. So I say show and tell what you did. And remember, there are about 20 different ways to communicate. I might pick up on 2 of them. So lots of different, well, social media, you know, interesting, but there's still a lot of people that don't cover that as well. So communicate what you did. And then make an evaluation, make adjustments, be super committed to it, and be consistent. It's so important that you do that. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to gain support the next time. And then celebrate the results and on to the next. You have to celebrate your results, even if it's, hey, we're gonna have a lunch because it's been 1 year since we started this. Your staff love it, your clients love it. You get points for asking whether or not they come. You get points for giving them maybe a promotional item. Oh, it's our 1 year, whatever. But celebrating the results and then on to the next, meaning back to the top, because now you're looking to see what your competition's doing.